social commentary.
Yeah. It's an action film. I mean,
Yeah.
but
I love the ending. I love that they went above and beyond in
did
the
a great job.
prosthetics
No, they did.
department.
Yeah.
I wanted to hate that movie, honestly,
Yeah.
when I saw it, but I saw it and it blew me away.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was
wow.
everything I wanted from a horror film, from an action film, from a fan of prosthetics and gore. I mean, they pulled in so many people who were missing limbs just so they could cut them off again.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard like a lot of people were really upset. There's a moment when a guy is hanging on one of the buses
With no
at the
legs.
end with no legs. They cut off a dude's legs for the second time in his life. That guy actually lost his legs a long time ago, and they said, "Do you mind if you hang up here? We're going to cut your legs off again." And he was like distraught for a bit, and then was like, "All right,
I'll do it."
That's awesome.
Well, I love the original. I love all the original
Yeah.
movies, but the new movie, what tripped me out is like I actually felt myself like, if this really happened, what would I do? Mm-hmm. You know, because I could run away from a Romero zombie. Come on, come on, they just walking. You know, so these fools are outrunning cars. Come on, what are you going to do if it's a million zombies outrunning cars?
You know what's really sad is the fact that unfortunately, Day of the Dead.
That was garbage.
Came out with a remake, and
That's not a remake.
unlucky.
That's a movie with the same title.
And the thing is, I saw that film, and I was like, wow, what a piece of shit. And I was so pissed off that they just didn't take
any movie,
what Zack Snyder, or I wish Zack
made a
Snyder
sequel
to have made a sequel to Day of the Dead, because, I mean, I love the Romero version, and I know that movie, people debate about it. Either you like it or you hate it. But I would have killed to see Zack Snyder do a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, just
any movie with Nick Cannon in it is going to be garbage. I'm gonna tell you that.
I like Drumline.
Drumline was good. That was his only good one.
Drumline. And you know what? I misunderstood the question when I said I agree with it. In some ways, it depends on how you look at it. Is it a better action film than the first one? I guess in a way, because it really is faster paced.
I think it's a better horror movie, but as far as setting a statement, you can't beat Romero's film.
But you know something, I have to admit, man, I can't agree with this at all overall, because it was just something about the original where that seemed more real to me. Like the whole thing with the station falling apart. You got that guy who's on the TV like, we've got to think dummies. You know? And that seemed real to me.
It seemed real. It definitely seemed. And that's the thing. Like, you cannot take away the performances of that film. That film just like, I think that's what keeps that movie alive, because it seems like you're watching a documentary.
You get emotionally involved in it.
You do. And the cool thing is, like, they really explored with what people would do in a mall, which I thought the remake just completely, they just did a real quick montage, and you never got a sense of how, the mall, it did become their prison in the original film.
Yeah, what's amazing is considering what a great social commentary he's made in the past with films like Dawn of the Dead, and how you felt like you're watching a documentary. The one film he makes that's like a documentary is one of his worst films. That was what really shocked me.
Man, Diary of the
Dead was so disappointing, and considering at the same time,
after seeing Wreck?
I saw Wreck, after I saw Cloverfield, and I even felt like Cloverfield was more believable than Diary of the Dead, and pulled me into it. And he just came at it from the wrong idea. He wasn't trying to tell another social story.
He used different student filmmakers to do it, so he didn't do it personally himself. He just pretty much edited it all together.
Is that why his actors are so bad?
Yeah. So these are
it's
just
disappointing. It's
it was
but the thing is, there were a lot of like great scenes in that movie. At least, if you like the Amish, the dead Amish guy, there's some characters where you almost wish that movie would have followed.
Shake the back of that mic real quick.
What's up, mic test? Can you hear me?
I'm sorry. Wait, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, parts of that movie kind of upset me, because the characters that you run into during that movie, you want the camera to hang out with all those characters.
I almost wanted the movie.
You cannot stand. I mean,
I wanted the movie to leave a lot of the main characters and hang out with the guys who were stockpiling. I was really interested in the guys who were stockpiling all those weapons and TVs and food.
Yeah.
And I hated these filmmakers.
I
was like, why?
You know what? If you want to make a spinoff of something, make a spinoff of that
Amish guy. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I said. After I saw the
absolutely.
movie, I was like, they need to do a spinoff about the Amish guy and how he fought off zombies throughout. He
was deaf, right? Was it the
he
deaf
was
Amish
deaf.
guy?
Yeah,
That
he had
was
the chop-
awesome.
Yeah, that was incredible.
And he killed that character off, man. That was like, what'd you do?
And I was pissed when they killed him off.
Just a cool dynamic. between him and everyone. And
I wish somebody would make I wish somebody could make a goddamn comic book out of that character. I mean,
I would read it. Just introduce him into Walking Dead. Just put him in Walking Dead
please.
now. Yeah, I just want him to show up.
Well, thank God he's not doing. Thank God George Romero is not doing a sequel to Diary of the Dead. Which
but he's doing another zombie.
But now he's doing another zombie.
He's
movie,
doing another zombie.
I'm looking forward to that. Somebody described it as like a Lord of the Flies with zombies.
That's good to
I
me.
Hope it, I hope it's good.
I even liked.
I enjoy. I'll watch Land of the Dead.
What was it? What was it? Land of the Dead. I really liked it as well as this.
I really enjoyed Land of the Dead. I don't know why that movie gets so much shit.
I saw it was a real surreal experience for me seeing that. I saw that when I was in Tokyo when it came out. And I'd never seen a movie with a Japanese audience before. And I saw it with my dad, who hates horror movies in general. He punched me after that movie. He's like, "Why the fuck did you take me to this?"
Well, see, I saw that movie at midnight with a buddy of mine who snuck me in. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I felt like I was transported back to the 80s, like when they used to make fun movies like that. Like, it kind of had, kind of like a Mad Max, feel with zombies. And
but the reason the movie didn't do that well and people slammed it, they're expecting, they're expecting a horror movie. It wasn't scary.
No,
I can appreciate. Cool. I love the setting and the story. It was brilliant.
Yeah. See, he's taken his series like he's almost gone science fiction with him. One of the things you have to do when you're telling a story of science fiction or supernatural things, it's the environment becomes more important than the story itself a lot of times. Sometimes a good example of that is a lot of the stuff in 2001 that just builds. It's like, check out this environment. And it's kind of the same thing with what he's doing with his horror films, is saying this is how people live and the story suffers from it. Right. And I think it works if you're a fan of science fiction. Right. Most of the time you're going to like it.
Well, in Land, I thought the only problem I had is I thought he made that one zombie a little too smart, which that's a lot. It
went over a lot of people's heads.
But then again,
it was a natural progression.
Well, if you listen to George Romero, you can almost that. In all those movies, he's always rooting for the zombies. And in this one, you could tell he wanted the zombies to be the heroes.
Well, that's why I hated Land of the Dead because, and I know we kind of drift off in the zombie.
But
it don't matter.
Hey, Halloween's coming up.
Yeah, but I mean, this is kind of cool, right? The Land of the Dead, he kind of broke his own rules with these zombies. I don't know if he broke his own rules, but he stopped making them be believable. I mean, what made them believable before is that they were mindless, they were deteriorating, and they were human beings who just didn't have self-control anymore. With this one, they're still rotting, but somehow they've managed to evolve and
brain matter.
Exactly, and it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just he pulled me out of that.
He had already started going down that path by the time
Day of the
Dead came, and the scientists were experimenting and trying to find out what's going on. He had already gone down that path, and I think he felt the natural progression of them being able to rise up and figure some things out would have to continue. Personally, I would have liked to have seen it if he had just admitted or made it Land of the Dead was not in connection with those films, because the timeline is all fucked up. Because those films take place in the 70s or in the 80s, and then 20 years later, it's now, but it's the same timeline, but it's not. It's
and it doesn't even look. Like when they all.
Well, he's just afraid to break continuity. That's it. And progress.
He's breaking continuity all the time.
Well, in my opinion, it's like as far as the zombie movies. Like Land of the Dead, it was good for what it was. I don't even hold it in the same league as the first three.
Right, yeah.
I can't.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right.
Here's a good question.
Any sex questions, Corey? Anybody needing sex advice? It's been a long time.
Let me ask the chat room.
Ask Leon after last night.
We're going to ask Kent. Ask Kent to solve some sex questions.
Let some of the members ask a question. But while he's doing that, did you get one?
No, I just asked if anyone will ask co-host some sex advice.
Oh, don't do that. This is going to get nasty after the conversation we had with you in the car. It's like, all these kids on here. Okay, here's a good one right here, though. This comes from Patrick.
Hi, Patrick.
And hello, Patrick. Patrick says, hey, man, I remember when you and co-hosts were talking about celebrities being assholes. And I wanted to ask you, what is the coolest thing you ever heard a celebrity do that you really disliked? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I couldn't see the question. It's like, what is the coolest thing you ever heard a celebrity that you dislike do? In other words, you know there's a celebrity that you don't like, but they did something that made you think, wow, you know what? They really are kind of cool.
I've got one.
What?
Uwe Boll wanting to fight reporters. I fucking hate Uwe Boll. At the moment he was like, "Let's get in the ring, motherfuckers, let's go," and he knocked fools out.
Yeah,
I was like,
you stole mine,
I'm
Kent,
sorry,
because Uwe Boll. I never really paid attention to his films. I never really had seen any of his films until I saw Postal, and
it's the only one I like.
Postal. I still love Postal.
It was good.
Oh, it was. Yeah, you need
I
to
liked
see
it. I gave it a good review because he was having fun. He made fun of himself. He made fun of
and that's the first movie he actually wrote. I mean, But with Uwe Boll, he spoke at one of the Fantastic Fests, and he laid it all out. Any kind of shit that people been throwing at him, he was name dropping as far as people that don't like him, and all that poor guy said was like, "Look, I'm just making movies, all right? And that's, hey, yeah, they suck, all right? Yeah, okay. But you know what? I'm still going to keep doing it because I love making movies, all right? I'm sorry." He was just like, hey, he wasn't trying to apologize for his bad films. He was just like, hey, I'm trying to make movies. I'm trying to make a living. And I have these guys over here telling me I'm shit for no apparent reason. They've never met me. They've never,
So they're taking it personal.
They're taking it really personal.
Like you can talk about his movies, but then they're talking about, and that guy's such an asshole, and I hate him, and just for making movies. So
and for no reason.
I have to admit, man, I have never seen one Uwe Boll movie yet, and you know who Uwe Boll is, man? Renegade. Yeah, okay, now have you ever seen
Blood Rain?
Blood Rain. What was the one I'm thinking of? One of his most ridiculous was
House of the Dead.
House of the Dead.
House of the Dead is
that
one,
shit.
and Alone in the Dark.
Which I actually have to say, the guys at GameTrailers.com counted down the top 10 worst movies of all time. He took the top 3 spots with Blood Rain, Alone in the Dark, and House of the Dead.
Alone in the Dark had Christian Slater, and there was a girl in there.
And then it had
Reid,
Tara
Reid, and then it had who played Deacon Frost? What's his name? Stephen Dorff.
Stephen Dorff.
Yeah, that's right. And Tara Reid in the movie. Now, do you know who Tara Reid is?
Yeah.
Okay, now you know
You know
she's
who
a
Tara
blonde.
Reid
Yeah,
is.
now you know when I mention someone with tits and ass, you're like, yeah, I know that.
Big Lebowski. I'll suck you.
But she's the ditziest girl you've ever seen. In the movie, they made her some sort of archaeological professor.
Genius. It was genius.
And this was around the same time they had Paradise on E.
Paradise.
Which, if you want to laugh really hard and you're hanging out, Google some Paradise.
Oh, I did.
Anytime she says something wrong, take a shot.
Because
she everything she says is the exact opposite of what's really going on in front of her face.
Did you see that episode where she's on the double-decker bus and she's laughing about some stupid shit, and then a tree branch just hits her right in the face? That's so awesome. Dumb bitch.
What about you, Shining? You got something?
I really have no comment on this because I don't know.
What about you, man? Well, he took yours.
I agree with Uwe Boll.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uwe Boll.
But you know what?
You know what? He makes these bad movies, but us talking about him all the time, that gets him his money.
And you know what?
Yeah.
He seems like he's
really
having
does.
fun with his notoriety. Like those videos he
The
made.
video. I was just about to bring that up. Those videos are genius.
I mean, when you could tell.
I'm the fucking
That's
genius.
it. Because some people
I'm Michael Bay.
Oh my god.
Some people are so mad at him for doing it. Because they're like, you see him fucking getting on there talking trash. And like, he's joking because he's like, I'm the fucking genius.
You know what? I gave him props for that. I like that.
Well, people on the comment page, you read those comments and people are like, you know what? I think I like this guy now.
Yeah, I have to like him because he's so honest about it, at least.
Yeah.
He rated all his movies based on what stars he had in them too. He sat down with some of the guys at IGN and they were interviewing him over a lot of beers. And over the time of the interview, you see the table in between them just stack up with more and more beer. It must have been a 5-hour interview. Yeah. And Uwe Boll is saying like, oh, I give Blood Rain 3 stars because we had such and such actors in it.
Ben Kingsley?
Yeah, he had Ben Kingsley in the movie.
That's at least 3 or 4 stars.
Ben Kingsley would do something for a box of crackers these days.
He don't care.
He's still badass.
We can get
Leo Gandhi to me.
You know what? You know he's still one of the baddest actors that would. And when I say bad, I mean like badass. Yeah. And I mean, shit, we can get him on this podcast if we wanted to. But you know who somebody that I don't really hate anybody. I hate kind of using that word because it's so. I mean, I'll save that for like Hitler and shit. But somebody that really annoyed the shit out of me for a while was Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And Rosie O'Donnell was somebody who, until I saw clips of her on The View, talking shit to all those people on there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I agree with her politics a little bit more. I like she's comfortable enough to be who she is. When she said, "You are dumb bitches," I'm just gonna talk as loud as I want to.
I enjoyed that.
I love that she's able to make fun of herself. She's on the show. There's a show called Little Britain, which is from the BBC, which just recently came to HBO. And it's these two guys who do all the characters. Picture Monty Python with two guys doing every character. That's cool. And one of their skits is a class for people who are fat. Fatties. And it's all about losing weight. And they actually got Rosie O'Donnell to come on. And the woman who's hosting it, who's actually a dude, is like, whatever you do, only talk about her weight, talk about her career a little bit, but don't bring up the fact she's a lesbian. And that's all they talked about was how much she likes to drink from the furry cup and what is like the most drug.
Nice.
And they did it.
I like that.
The people who were sitting there, who are the extras as the fatties, didn't know Rosie O'Donnell was really coming because these people are known for dressing up as celebrities and everything, and it was filmed in front of a live studio audience, and nobody knew.
Man.
So Rosie O'Donnell actually walks through the door, and the fact she was willing to just put her weight on the line, put her politics on the line, and put her sexual orientation on the line for the sake of comedy made me really, really like her.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. Now, here's another one, and then this covers a lot of ground. This actually covers two people. Ben Stiller was somebody who annoyed me, and I saw him on that Ricky Gervais show, Extras, where he just played a total dick, and he was like a dickish director, and he was actually really funny. I mean, he was playing himself, too.
Yeah.
And then he goes off and directs a movie that I really like, which is Tropic Thunder.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. Tropic Thunder put crazy ass Tom Cruise in there, and everybody loves Tom Cruise now because
my opinion.
And everyone hated Tom Cruise for a little bit. I mean, he was on a lot of people's list of just being a crazy dick.
Yeah,
and then he's a racist dick, but who cares? Because it was funny.
What do you do that was racist?
A lot of people
they think
Jewish people in Hollywood are calling him a racist dick now.
Why?
Because he dresses up like one of the Weinsteins.
You know what, man?
But they do that.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to explain it to me. I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, look, don't worry about Tom Cruise. Yeah. Mel Gibson is still running on a rampage right now.
Hey, but Mel Gibson makes the best movie. He's loony as a fox.
He's Mad Max. You can't fuck with Mad Max.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, that's another guy's crazy, but he just come out and said, Jews, what the fucking Jews? Tom Cruise just put on a costume and did something funny.
I'm sorry, I did laugh when I heard he called that cop sweet tits. Sorry, I'm sorry, I was laughing.
That's sugar tits.
There you go, sugar tits.
You remember this Renegade when Mel Gibson got caught drunk?
You alive back there?
Which one was that?
Alcohol poisoning?
Man, he got alcohol poisoning.
I know he got that wine in him. Look at him.
Hey, you noticed the first
Mel Gibson got drunk a few years ago and got pulled over by the cops, and he said,
"Yeah, that was all over the news and everything."
What do you think about that, though? Do you think he's...
Oh, I thought it was just funnier than hell, really, in my own way. I mean, it's just
we all had a field day.
I mean, it's just like Nick Nolte, with the mug shot and everything, and
Renegade relates to him.
Yeah.
I think he relates more to Gary Busey.
I was drinking with him that night. Yeah, that's it.
And when you get pulled over by the cop, ask them if they're Jews.
Yeah. Look at that sugar tits coming out.
He was in the car with him. Look at this fucking Jew coming in the car. Who's in the? I bet they got a nigger in the back seat.
Renegade crawled out on the other side and ran in the woods.
Disappeared.
Got away. Yeah.
I tried.
Hey, you got? I tell you what. Before we get out of here, because we're almost done. This is almost an hour and a half. You got anybody on there who wants to ask a question from what is that goddamn thing over there?
The Spill chat room, which you can find in the forums. Mostly, it's people like Deadpool wanting to know what, ask co-host what a dirty Sanchez is.
No.
That's what. Google that.
Google that for real.
Yeah, just Google it.
Let your ass be traumatized.
Actually, Dr. J, who's a pretty cool guy. Dr. J wants to know what everyone thinks about Return to Sleepaway Camp.
Dr. J is a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Writes some great posts. Did I ever see Return to Sleepaway Camp?
No, they're doing a sequel.
They're doing a sequel
to Sleepaway.
Now, are they supposed to have the original cast?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I did see the sequel to Sleepaway Camp where she's grown up. Mm-hmm. And when she's older and she goes back to camp and kills all the counselors and the counselors.
But that wasn't.
What's
that?
that?
Was in the first movie.
Yeah.
Well,
No. In the first
Return?
movie,
Well,
they found
there's
out
a sequel. Yeah,
They found out the
I didn't
chick
know
at the
that.
end of the guy at the end of the first one is a girl, and then they make a sequel where she kills a camp counselor or something. She goes to camp to be. She's a counselor.
Well, actually, it's a girl.
This girl that's a guy.
Well, you find out that it's
It's a it. It's a it.
Yeah, it's
or like okay, yeah, but then
and
they
it has the craziest fucking ending. That ending, you know what? Okay,
That
I was
shit is
watching.
crazy.
I was watching that movie, and something happened to my player when I was playing it, and it freezed on that shot.
that- oh,
the
man.
crazy looking eyes, and that scared the holy shit out of me.
Oh,
That
man.
affected me more than
That
The
shit was
Exorcist.
crazy.
And I was like, I
Yeah,
couldn't
you
get out of my
remember
head.
I remember I was young when I seen that movie, but that shit still. It
It-
always tripped me out. Just the face of
You see her eyes. Her eyes are going like these crazy directions.
Yeah.
and it's just free. And you see a penis. You see like penis.
Oh, that's what it is. You
Yeah.
think it's a girl and it's a guy. And at the end of the movie, yeah, it just freezes. I mean, it's the
is
last shot is her with a
crazy,
knife in her hand, looking
Yeah.
like a ventriloquist dummy with her eyes going around.
And the thing that sucked is when this thing. Okay, obviously it's a still shot at the end of the movie, but the player. That I was using, it
made it
freezed
tremble?
and then it kind of and it kind of like
Oh,
you
it was
see,
shaking,
you
like,
see
yeah,
it
like
shaking.
a Jacob's ladder.
Yeah, and I honestly thought I was like, oh no, some ring shit's gonna happen. Where she's gonna come crawling out, and I'm gonna
Oh,
be just
man.
in a coma of fear.
Okay, that's what happened in the sequel. He went back as a girl to camp and was like a camp counselor, and then she, who's really a guy, killed everybody at camp.
Okay, I never saw.
You never saw the sequel.
No.
Sequel is much cheaper. Doesn't have the effect as the
yeah.
first one, but but anyway, so they're doing a remake of Sleepaway Camp.
Well, it's a sequel. It's a direct sequel. Right?
I thought it was
Or-
a direct sequel.
I
Oh,
think
it
that's
is?
what
What
it
I've been
was.
hearing is-
You know what's funny too, because they were talking when I went. Okay, I went to the premiere of the Freddy vs. Jason, where they had it at a camp and everything. And I think they had one of the actors, because they played Sleepaway Camp as one of the films, and they talked to some of the actors were there, I believe, and they talked about that sequel. So I don't know how long it's been in the making, but I remember back when Freddy and Jason came out that they were talking about doing a direct sequel.
Man, if it's been that long, that thing is probably
I
not
don't-
gonna
I
happen.
don't-
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
been
don't
popping
even
up
think
a
that's
lot
cool.
more on like firstshowing.net and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's good. I don't think
Yeah.
it will ever.
But
top the
is
first.
it? Will it be even big enough to like attract an audience?
doubt it.
Today?
It'll probably go straight to DVD.
Yeah, exactly.
to be
That's what I'm
honest.
saying.
Yeah,
So,
but-
well, you got another one? You want?
Yeah, what do you guys think about the sequel to Blade Runner that people?
Oh, did you want to say
talking
something?
about?
Oh, I'm sorry. What, the sequel to Blade Runner?
What?
A lot of talk is
Yeah,
coming
there's a
about
sequel
a
to
direct
Blade Runner
sequel to
coming
Blade Runner.
Wow.
With
With
a new-
Harrison Ford?
I don't know about with Harrison Ford or a new cast or what because.
Oh, I remember that on the site. Everyone is saying like, "Leave that one the fuck alone."
Well, here's the thing. I'm feeling like if you watch the definitive cut that has recently come out, which is still a good buy while you can get it, you can get it in Blu-ray or regular DVD in a briefcase for like $60. It's like 10 discs
With all the versions. that
all the
they've-
versions of the film, including the original release, which makes no sense. The
With the
director's
narration.
cut,
With
with the narration, the director's cut, and then the definitive cut, which actually has a moment where they got Harrison Ford's son to stand in for him. He looks just like him. It's
shit. I didn't know that.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. You cannot spot it unless you know what it is.
I know they got the original actress who played the first android that he went after, the stripper.
Yeah, they got her to
they
do something,
redid a
yeah.
whole scene where she goes falling through the plate glass, which apparently she actually did her own stunts.
Yeah.
And they recreated that in the
definitive- the
in
final
definitive,
cut.
yeah, and it looks great. I mean, that
Yeah.
film still looks incredible.
Yeah.
I love Blade Runner.
I mean, let's just say I'm never going to say never with anything.
Yeah.
Do it, put it out there, and see what it does. I don't ever want to say don't do it because you never know when you're going to suppress a great film.
yeah.
Did they ever do a sequel to the book of that?
They not to the book. There are two more books. There's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and then there are two books, Blade Runner 2 and 3, which are actually sequels to the movie. Have nothing. They're not connected to the book, and they are actually
But
pretty
are
interesting.
they in canon or are they just?
They're in canon with the movie,
Okay.
not with the book. So they're hard to find. I mean, you can find them on some used book sites, but they're going to cost you $20 for a
Have you read 'em?
paperback. I've read them, and they're pretty interesting. Deckard goes off into space on.
Sounds crazy.
It is that's where the replicants came from in the first place. Was a space station. He's a replicant himself. If you haven't seen this movie, go see it already.
Yeah.
I know people who still haven't seen Blade Runner, but Deckard goes out there and kind of becomes a bit of a hero among the replicants, and it kind of starts an uprising. And if they went with that kind of a story to it, because figure from his point of view, it's got to be fucked up to be a replicant. I mean, you just found out your entire life is someone else's memories just so you're peaceful.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Well, it's going to be hard to really do a sequel. That's the thing. Do it, but you just have to understand that I think for a sequel like that, you can't do it because you have the opportunity to do it. Our fans are asking for it. It really has to be the spark of a great idea.
Yeah. And I know for a fact fans aren't asking for that.
No, not at all. It's a great movie.
It ruins the whole legend of the film or the series. So
it's unless it's absolutely necessary, unless there's a story that really has to come out, I would say don't do it.
Yeah.
If you think you have an inspired story, do it. We're talking about Harrison Ford. I don't care who they get to look like him. Don't do it because you have somebody that looks like him. Or he's willing to do it because look. No matter how much you've enjoyed Indiana Jones, that last one did not feel sincere at all.
No, it didn't. No,
So-
there were just a few moments, and even those were forced.
Yeah, exactly.
the whole movie was forced to me. I don't even like Indiana Jones, but technically they all were good. But
Yeah.
this last
South
one
Park said what we all feel about Indiana
Well,
Jones.
they just raped him.
Yeah, when they raped him. Q style over a pinball machine, just raped him.
It's like Spielberg don't even try anymore. His name's attached to it.
Well, he doesn't try with his more fantastical films.
Well, one thing I was trying to tell Corey just the other night, for anybody that's unfortunately went out and bought the DVD, they got this commentary on there, which pretty much explains why the movie sucked. At least that's the way that I saw it, because it's like it was more or less a reunion of all the people that have been working throughout the entire movie throughout the years, and they just basically threw it together for the fans. It wasn't really written in such a way. The one guy who's like the main producer and the main script writer, he said it was one of the harder balancing acts that he ever had to do as far as trying to make the storyline actually work in the way it was supposed to. Unfortunately, I think it could have gone a little bit better, but we already saw what the outcome of it was. You know?
Yeah. No, I see. That's exactly what I'm talking about. As you said, it was a reunion. They just did it because they could. If you want to know the truth, I think they said Harrison Ford ain't got a whole lot of time left. We better do this while he can still play this character.
Actually, they were trying to say he probably could put another one out.
Well, now that he's made this one,
talking about
my
five.
God, you got to be
they're gonna
kidding
try to
me,
do another one.
They're going to try and do 5. And here's the thing, you know what?
What?
Yeah, they're trying to do 5.
That's
They're
what they're
just
talking
talking
about.
about.
Listen to kill this man.
Yeah.
They're saying he could
Stop
probably
the
do this at
madness.
the age of 75. They're saying in the commentaries and everything like that. I mean,
He broke his back doing Temple of Doom. The man has not been in good shape for decades, and having him continue to do this, it's.
Hey, look, I'm all for it. Let me tell you something. I love to see an older actor like that carry on a hero.
I love Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I do too. But I'm just saying, if they
Only
do
certain
it,
people can do it though. Like, okay, Zatoichi, he did that for like 30 years.
Yeah.
the blind swordsman.
The
Yeah,
Blind
Swordsman.
Swordsman, 30 years. He was still good.
He ain't no Zatoichi.
But see, that's the thing. That character probably he's such a disciplined character that he probably got better with age.
Yeah.
We with Indiana Jones, we're still not getting this character like growing. You know what I mean?
He looked tired in that last week. He looked like tired. He just wanted to go to bed.
There's one Indiana Jones story.
Kinda cool. No.
There's one Indiana Jones story involving an older indie that I dig, which was from the Young Indiana Jones series. If you haven't seen it out there, at least rent it on Netflix, because a lot of those, especially when he was fighting in World War I, are really, really good. And there's one story where Harrison Ford plays Indiana Jones.
Oh, really?
A really old indie who's pretty much on his last leg. And if they did a story like that where it's Indy's actual really last crusade.
And Harrison Ford is in the episode?
He's in it. He's in the beginning and the end. He bookmarks the whole thing. And it's a really good episode. If they were to do something like that, where it's Harrison Ford doing his last indie film, and he really goes out in a blaze of glory.
yeah, not like Captain
That's
Kirk.
the film I want to see. Not like Captain Kirk The Generation.
God, yeah.
That was embarrassing.
But see, that's why I'm pissed off, because you had all the ingredients to make that film that you're talking about,
Yeah.
and they completely blew it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want to see. As far as I'm concerned, if Harrison Ford was ever to pick up a franchise ever again, there's only one he can do, and that's Jack Ryan. He could still do Jack Ryan, because Jack Ryan in the books is like God in the CIA, and I'd like to see that. Like, see almost like a Good Shepherd type of film about Jack Ryan would be very, very cool to me.
But no, they replaced him with Ben Affleck. So.
Yeah, I know. But you know what?
what?
You're right, Ken. I agree with that completely.
Yeah, that's the last franchise he can still tackle, and that's is one of his better performances. As much as I love Han Solo and I love Indy, he acts. In those Jack Ryan films, better than he does in the other two franchises. I mean, that's when he put on his acting chops.
Yeah, no, I mean, there are certain characters that they can do, but we really have to believe that those characters are growing with that role.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones looks like they're doing a rehash. So, and that's what I'm afraid that they'll do with something like Blade Runner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyway, well, guys, that's it, man. I think.
Well, hey, before we quit, can we bring up that song?
Oh, that's
oh my God! All right, can you have that up? Can you bring that up?
Here, I'll try to put the mic on it.
Trying to piss me off right now.
Oh my God! Yeah,
co-host is into this song for some reason. He found this song and he's
super duper awesome member sent me this song. She was like, "You got to hear this. This is unbelievable. It's an actual song." And I was like, "All right." So I checked it out, and yeah, the song starts off, "Why you coming home at 5 a.m? Something, let me smell your dick." And she's singing with all her heart, and it's a legitimate song.
Oh, do you want to play this?
"Smell Yo Dick"
by
Risque.
There you go.
All right. Risque has an A in there for risque. I thought it was gonna be QU.
No, it's RISKA.
Go ahead.
Shining wants to send her like an email saying, "Man, I'm embarrassed to be black now."
Hey.
And you ain't responding to nothing. What the fuck is you doing? Who the fuck is you out there with? You think I'm stupid? My girl's already done put me up on your ass tonight, nigga.
You know, I just want to say real quick, I love the drama of the piano.
Exactly. That's why I mean they put their heart.
Shine over here, man.
Exactly.
It's like she's doing Trapped in the Closet.
Exactly.
She's
it's like
got that much emotion.
They put more heart and soul in that song than they did in the Indiana Jones movie.
Why you coming home 5 a.m? Something's going on. Can I smell your dick?
Corey, I only have one question. What is wrong with your people?
On behalf of me and Corey, just play it.
Yeah, there you go.
I apologize
Say
for
it,
this.
Shining.
I apologize on behalf of black people for this woman and all this other bullshit. Oh my God, I hate black people. I'm sorry. I hate my own people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Obama, come on,
Obama
man.
for life. I love you, Obama.
We need you because we acting.
You're like our messiah right now.
We acting a fool right now. They got this bitch up here talking about, "Can I smell your dick?"
No,
wow.
If you thought that was funny, I'm gonna post this video. You want to post it on your page again? I'm sure.
I'll post it. Yeah,
I'm gonna post it. It's in the chat room right now.
Yeah. This thing is going to be huge now. After
No, here's the thing. YouTube it. There are so many people singing this song.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a dude right here. You see this guy? There's a guy wanting to sing, "Can I smell your dick?"
Hey, let me.
Let's see how he sounds.
Yeah, I want to hear how he sings this. It's funny. He sounds just like that woman. Can I smell? Yeah.
Oh no, he's lip syncing to it. I'm gonna post this too. He's lip syncing to it. He's like a drama queen.
Is this the guy that likes Britney Spears or something?
You might as well be.
What's his name? Chris something? Chris
no.
Crocker?
I ain't never seen a little.
Oh my God, he's got a knife and a glove. He's ready to cut someone's dick off.
And you know what? And he's a little white dude, but he's working that neck.
He's working that neck action.
He's channeling a sister right now like it's nobody's business.
It's ridiculous.
I need to bring this song to the barbecue, the Spill Barbecue.
Play it over the loudspeaker.
I was like, do girls really?
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Do girls really do that?
It's been talked about in the community. I've heard a lot about it.
I know this chick does it.
Well, just the way that you were talking about, it's like, okay, the guy's got to unzip his fly. And then it's like, she's got to bend down there, and it's like, that's
y'all have to be around. So y'all think, that's a sexual thing. No, that girl ready to rip his shit off.
Yeah, she's gonna bite his shit when he pulls it out. Like
she's getting slapped in the face.
No, they usually do that. But after I've rolled my dick in sweet lilac. But anyway,
You give yourself a bottle of Free Breeze.
Jack off with potpourri.
Damn.
That's right, boy.
That is awesome.
Hey, man. Well, you know what? Go ahead and play it. I'm gonna go out on. Can I smell your dick? Dedicated to the Shining over there.
And this has been another ending of a couple of cold. I'm laughing too hard to do it again.
All right, Joe.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. They really believe it wasn't Carlisle here. Let's see here. This is another ending of Let's Do This with co-host and Corey with your special guests of Ren, Kent, and The Shining.
Yeah. All right.
Beautiful.
Good night, everybody.
Awesome.
Good night.
All right, now get the hell out of my house.
The fuck out of here.
Party August 2009.
Album drops 2000.
Peace out, everyone.
Let me smell your dick toy.
See you on the side.
All right, now we getting out of here. Bye, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out.